Hello everyone, Adam Monk here again from FourFourTwo. Now, I am in London. I have this silly Jack Grealish hairstyle because I've not been allowed to check into my hotel yet, so I'm here recording with a headband in.
Do your job then! Do your job or don't do it then!
Anyway, yes, speaking of flamboyant hairstyles, Tottenham have signed a man with one himself, and his name is Radu Dragusin. I believe I've said that correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Now, if you're not an expert in Italian football, then you might be asking, who the hell is he? Well, the answer to that is a 6'3", lanky, right-footed centre-back from Romania who can also fill in at right-back. So, why have Tottenham signed him? Well, the very simple answer and non-tactical answer is squad depth. It's Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero. Now, you've got Mickey van der Ven, who of course got injured with that hamstring injury against Chelsea this season, and Christian Romero, who is susceptible to committing GBH sometimes. I think that's putting it lightly, but the guy does know how to get a red card, let's just say that. As good as a centre-half as he can be. So they are two quality centre-backs, but if you remove them from the squad, who is behind them? Well, it's Ben Davies, who was of course predominantly in his younger days a left-back, and then Eric Dier, who's been at the club for many, many years, but seems to be going to Bayern Munich. What are they cooking? So with Eric Dier leaving and Postecoglu and Spurs perhaps not seeing him as the man to take them forward quality-wise, then that leaves a literal void right in the team, ready to be filled by what seems to be a Romanian man in Radu Dragusin. So why have Spurs brought him in as opposed to the likes of Tapsoba or someone like that? Well, let's start looking at two things that I think go very, very hand in hand. The first one is a quote that Italian football expert Jatin Dietl, a lot of complicated names in this episode. But what Jatin Dietl has said about Dragusin, who's been playing for Genoa this season, he's come out and said this. He is a modern player, physically very strong, difficult to beat in the aerial game and skillful in setting the phase. Gifted with a long, very precise pass, Radu is able to quickly turn the action around on the offensive front. In marking, he is aggressive and focused, often well positioned. At times, he likes to come out with the ball outside his own penalty area, acting as a regista, displaying a distinct personality. Now, the other thing that goes hand in hand with that is something that Mr. Cleary, who is actually in the room next to me right now, said when Tottenham drew at the Etihad Stadium in the video he did after that. And he came out and said this. So we're going to have a little flashback now.
Ooh. It is purely a mindset that goes, whenever you receive the ball, no matter who you are on the pitch or what your job is, think, how can I play this forward? How can I make something happen here? It's what Brian Gilberto Silva was thinking when he receives the ball on the edge of his own box here, and instead of just laying it back to his teammate here, as would be the simple pass, he weaves and he skins a Manchester City player, and from there, Tottenham are in for the first goal. It's what Oliver Skipp was thinking here when instead of just playing this simple ball, he goes past his man instead. He risks losing possession to give the ball to Son, and from there, Tottenham get their equaliser.
So there we go, getting the ball forward as quickly as possible. That is Postecoglu's philosophy in a nutshell, and he looks for all of his players to be able to showcase that ability, and that is something that Italian expert Jatin Dietl, said that right again, has come out and said that Dragusin is capable of, and the footage of Dragusin playing football in the Serie A really, really reinforces that, truth be told. So let's take a look at it. You can see here he's not afraid to take the ball on and do a bit of dribbling, and then he looks to get it forward as quickly as possible. There's one touch there on the ball, then another switch out wide here. It's really tailor-made for Postecoglu. I mean, just look at that one there, that switch. That is just absolutely outrageous. But really, in a lot of these clips as well, he's actually receiving the ball within the opposition half as well. So again, going back to what Italian football expert Jatin Dietl said, he's operating in that regista role in a sort of sixth position. So that's his passing range covered, but also note some of the positions that Dragusin is occupying in some of these games. He's playing fullback in some of them, which is going to be really, really useful for Postecoglu and how Spurs like to play. So I'll show you some screenshots here of Dragusin playing in this fullback position and, you know, switching the play, taking the ball forward. But really, there's something I want to show you on the tactics board. And yes, it is indeed true, I don't have the facilities for this yet, big man, in my own house. But here in London, of course, I have access to the beautiful Subbuteo table. Already knocked someone over. Anyway. Oh yes, and quick side note, ignore the red guys to the right-hand side of your screen. I forgot to move them when recording this, so for the sake of this, just pretend that they're Man United trying to desperately defend or something, because that's probably how it'd look. Thank you. This is how Tottenham and Postecoglu typically like to line up, sometimes in a 4-3-3, sometimes in a 4-2-3-1 with two defensive midfielders. Now, Dragusin, typically being a right-footed centre-back, will play here. I don't really need to explain that to you. So, of course, he can play switch balls over to each side. But the real tactical shift and why he might be a bit of a Swiss Army knife player for Postecoglu will come into play when someone like, let's say, Pedro Porro is injured, or when Tottenham are playing a fantastic team such as Manchester City. There we go, I've introduced some dark blue this time, Manchester City hypothetical players. So let's just say for argument's sake, this is Rodri, Stones, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, players who are very, very good at keeping the ball. What Postecoglu likes to do against sides like Manchester City and what he did at the Etihad when they were keeping the ball in this area is he'd have Basuma, Lo Celso, it was Kulusevski on the day who was playing number 10, but of course this could be James Maddison on any other given day. He would go here and then Brian Hill would come out from the left-hand side. That is what they did against Manchester City. However, this then, of course, leaves a massive open vacant space here, and the likes of Destiny Udogie, or if it was on this side, Pedro Porro, aren't particularly the best one-on-one defensively or the most capable. Maybe like a centre-half like Nathan Ake would be, who's been pulled out to this position. They're natural modern-day fullbacks who get up and down, and one-on-one, the world-class wingers in the league will be able to probably get the better of them. So let's revert back to Tottenham's normal shape, and let's hypothetically, I'm going to have to reach over here, say that Dragusin is playing at right back in this team, in this game. What this could then mean is, let's say that this is James Maddison or Kulusevski, he can go here, and then let's say this is Brennan Johnson or Timo Werner, he is now at the club as well, he could drift in here, and then you have this vacant space on this side. But what it means having a centre-half here, who is, of course, defensively very, very aggressive and solid, it means you're going to get beat less 1v1, and you're going to be able to compensate for having this vacated space here a lot more. And it's not going to need, if this was Pedro Porro, then another centre-back like Romero might have to double up and, defensively help him out, really, in this 1v1. But having another centre-half there will bear so much fruit for Tottenham, I think, and make them a lot more defensively solid, yet retain that quick turnover of possession that Postecoglu likes to do. So I think they'll probably leak less goals with a centre-half who can come out and play full-back as well. So there we go, that was my first time using the tactics board. I hope my arms weren't flailing about there. Anyway, another little bonus for you Spurs fans as well is he can finish. Take a look at this.
Shit! Did you see that?
So yeah, this guy really seems like he can do a lot of what Tottenham need him to do, and hopefully he will. I think it's an astute signing, and Postecoglu so far has got a pretty good strike rate with the players that he's brought in. So fingers crossed for Spurs that this will be a hit. Anyway guys, yes, you can let me know what you think about Dragusin in the comments. Will it be a hit or a miss? And Spurs fans, are you excited to watch him in a white shirt? I suspect you probably are. Anyway, needless to say, hope you have a lovely day or evening whenever you are watching this. I've been Adam Monk. Take care. I'll see you very soon. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well. Goodbye.